Shoulders by Harpos today, and joining me are two very special people, Ashera and Shehan. Hi, welcome.
Welcome, Shoulders.
How are you both doing today?
Good, really good.
Just another birthday for us.
Glad to hear that. So Ashera, let's start with you. Tell me about the name Shoulders. How did that come about?
So we actually, for the past 3 months, we have been trying to figure out what name to come up with. It changed about 4 times, and then actually my dad Harpo decided to name it Shoulders by Harpos, because this place is such a tiny place that you're literally rubbing shoulders, in the kitchen. It's so tiny, the bar is so tiny. When the crowd comes, you're literally rubbing shoulders. So we were just like, hey, let's come up with this. This is awesome. So yeah, that's how it came about. Shoulders by Harpos.
Interesting. I love that. Tell me a little bit about the concept here, the food you're serving.
So I think Shehan would be better at the
So
concept, because he came up with this whole thing actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually been a dream of mine to bring this kind of food to Sri Lanka, because you don't get to see this here, and I think we're one of the first people to do. So basically our concept here is when it comes to food, it's a Greek-inspired menu using locally sourced ingredients, and we are also a cocktail bar. So it's a cocktail bar and restaurant, and we have very, very interesting, colorful and flavorful cocktails. Again, using all local ingredients, and most of our cocktails have an anime reference to it, which is quite unique as well.
Yeah.
So if you're an anime fan, this is definitely the place to come and check out these cocktails. And if you're not like me, you can also come and enjoy cocktails, because they're quite flavorful and quite strong as well. So yeah.
So we're also a place where you can just come with your friends, order beer towers, because we have a massive section over here where it's basically a concept where it's like a beer garden where you can just come enjoy live music, which we'll be doing soon on the weekends. So that is something that we also have here.
Now, Shehan, I read something very interesting about you. So you are not only a chef, you're also a DJ. I mean, how did that come about? It's just two completely different.
It's two completely different things, but I think as chefs, we always have a hobby, or we always have a different passion to get our minds off cooking sometimes, because as artists and as creative people, our minds keep working all the time, even when you're sleeping. And I felt like music and DJing had really helped me calm my mind down a little bit. But started off as a hobby, has now turned into, I would say, maybe a career as well, because I get booked to play certain places. Of Uncle Harpo,
My dad,
he was the first DJ in Sri Lanka as well. So you get to see that on and off sometimes. If you come here on a Friday, Saturday, if you're lucky, you might get to see one of us on the decks as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So yeah, so this place is all about music and creating that ambience as well. It's not a quiet restaurant. It's a loud, fun, modern type of restaurant as well.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But I'm also now curious, how did this partnership happen?
So
Yeah, so basically, me and Shehan have known each other for I think more than 12 years, and he studied with my husband as well, that's in pharmacy.
yeah.
And we went to Malaysia together, and I studied hospitality and tourism, and he studied
culinary arts. And since then, we've been like very, very close
Very
friends,
close,
even
yeah.
though we've lived like miles apart.
He was actually one of our groomsmen as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somehow Ashera gets to know everything that I do
Kind of
there.
everything.
So yeah, we've always kept in touch, knowing like how far we live. And every time I come here, that's the first house I go and visit as well. And I think more than us knowing like we were going to do something like this, I think it was always in the back of Uncle Harpo's mind.
Oh, okay.
He was actually
planning this
planning
before,
this
way before,
before
yeah. Oh, wow.
we even
Okay.
knew that this was going to happen. He actually approached me when I came here for one of our other best friends' weddings one time, and he actually pulled me to a corner and he said that we do something, but I never thought that it was going to happen until this thing came up.
Yeah. When we got this opportunity, firstly my dad was just like, no, we have to get Shayan here. We have to. And that's when I contacted him and asked him if he was interested. And yeah he was.
Lovely. So Shayan, also tell me a little bit about your culinary background before this. What were you up to?
So straight after I left school, I actually started educating myself on how to cook. It was straight after school actually. I went to Ceylon Hotel School here. That's where I started. Before that, I think the whole cooking side came from my grandmother. I have a grandmother who was very, very into her food. She grew everything in her backyard. She made wines out of all the fruits that she had growing in her backyard. She had her own recipe books, like she would write recipes down. So I was all. She passed away when I was about 9 or 10, but I remember always like standing up on a stool watching what she was cooking while other kids were outside playing. So I was always like very interested, and I would question everything like why she put that in the beef curry instead of putting that. And so I think that's where it all started. But I never really thought I would choose it as a career until I left school. So, and I think a lot of it had to do with also MasterChef Australia. I think they used to, their show in Sri Lanka a little bit. A lot of people were into it at that time. So I was inspired by that, and I always knew I wanted to go to Australia and start cooking.
Nice. So what are the cuisines you generally, love working with?
I love, obviously I've cooked a lot of Greek food, Turkish food, Italian, Asian, all of that. And now I'm trying to also take our Sri Lankan cuisine and try and modernize it as well in Australia. And trying to create and innovate new things in Sri Lanka as well, and see how it goes. Yeah.
So is that how you decided that you will do Greek-inspired cuisine here as well?
Yeah, because I felt like there's a need for Greek food in Sri Lanka, but also like understanding our Sri Lankan palate as well.
Very true.
So it's just balancing those flavors, because maybe if I was to do traditional Greek, I'm not sure if it would have worked here. And I thought it would have been interesting to get Greek-inspired food and draw a bit of flavor from Sri Lankan ingredients and tie them together and see what happens after it. And so far it's been working, and a lot of guests have been returning back within a couple of days.
Yeah, couple of
Most
days.
of our guests, even like today, we have quite a few bookings that have been here last week, and they want to keep coming, which is really.
They booked today, and then I got one call. Oh, can you book today? And okay, can you book for me next week as well?
Oh,
so
that's fab.
Yeah.
That's something that I haven't seen a lot. Even restaurants that have opened there and stuff. It's very, very rewarding to see that reaction from our people, and I'm glad that it worked, because when I knew that I wanted to do this, obviously I was not sure, but and thought maybe if it doesn't work, then we can change it to something else. But right now I think,
He knew exactly what was needed.
Because I obviously lived in Sri Lanka most of my life actually. I grew up here, I was born here, so I understand how our palates work. And that has been a massive advantage, coming back here and doing something.
Okay. So I'm curious to know, what's your favorite dish here?
I have to say everything, because everything is being created by me. But I think there are few highlights that a lot of our guests that wows them a little bit. One of them being the taram salata dip, which is. It is actually my favorite ingredient in the whole world. This is an ingredient that has really inspired me as a chef as well. It's basically it's only produced in Greece, in certain areas in Greece. It's fermented codro. So they take codro and they cure it in salt and sugar, and it becomes a paste. So we take that and whip it with bread, lemon juice and onions, and it becomes this dip which a lot of people have been coming back for. And then we have this saganaki cheese, which is a flaming cheese.
Oh,
So a lot of people with their phones out
that's
when
important.
yeah. Now
Right.
when you create things now as chefs, that whole Instagram stuff, that's quite important because a lot of
Right.
people. I mean, that's free publicity as well.
Yeah.
So,
What about yours, Ashira? What do you love?
My favorite?
Yes.
Oof, my favorite is the charcoal chicken and the lamb. The lamb is actually my first, and then
Oh.
the charcoal chicken. The
Yeah.
lamb is just amazing. Like, it's just like, it's perfect. Yeah.
Fab. So, any parting words for our viewers?
Come and check out Shoulders.
and also like I want people to come and experience this. I want people to experience what our staff have been doing. Our staff actually they've been the best part about this whole journey,
Okay.
and I have no issues like leaving them there, and they've actually taken over from me right now. So I'm just talking to guests and just going around. They are the ones who've been doing all the hard work. So I want people to come in here and really enjoy them and support them and see what they can do, because as Sri Lankans, they're very, very talented, and
True.
as when you give them a bit of guidance, they've really taken over from all of us. Now we just watch them grow as a
Okay, so there you have it from Ashira and Shihan. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for coming.
We are excited, certainly, to try Shoulders by Harpos, and do come check it out.